Good morning. Welcome to our little Saturday morning road trip that we're taking. We got up and had breakfast this morning and just decided we'd do a road trip, look at a few things, but my intentions to do is to do this road trip and also do a review on our trooper that we use for overlanding. I've been promising you guys that I would do an intro on it and talk about the backstory on this trooper and that sort of thing. So that's what we're going to do this morning. Now we'll be looking at some scenery and various things like that today as well. But I want to go ahead and just start out by telling you the story about this trooper as best I can. We had been driving a little two-wheel drive Jeep for a few years that we bought at a good price, and we really liked it. And Wanda had called me one morning and she had found this trooper for sale, and she asked me if I'd like to have another four-wheel drive, and I told her I really didn't have time to build another project vehicle. And she said, well, it's a 1997 Isuzu Trooper. Well, when she said that, I said, I'll come and look at it. Well, the reason why is, you know, of all the overland vehicles that there are out there, for me, I just love the old Troopers. They're just a neat vehicle. They're fun to drive, and they do a good job, and they just look good. So, try to shorten this up just a little bit. I went and I looked at the Trooper, and the engine seemed to run good. It was having a little bit of transmission problem, but that was because it was low transmission fluid. But the bigger thing that it had going on was the brakes were just absolutely gone on it. Everything about it was bad. So I bought it, and I went and got my trailer, pulled it home, and started working on it. Now, I didn't mind spending some money on it because I actually bought this thing for $500. That's just dirt cheap for something like this. And you can buy some pretty ragged ones for $500 to $1,000. And if you're willing to spend some money on them, you can make them into a pretty decent vehicle to do overlanding, camping, and getting out in the wilderness with. So anyway, I got it home, started to work on it, and you know, a couple of $1,000s later, I got a pretty good, well, I say a pretty good, got a real good vehicle out of it, one that we're using a whole lot. And the reason I'm sharing this with you guys, and I shared a little of this on another video, but if you like going out in nature and enjoying camping and just road trips and going into the back country, you know, these little four-wheel drives and even two-wheel drives, like I said, we were driving a Jeep with two-wheel drive before this and doing well with it. They're not very expensive. You can get out and enjoy some fun with your family and build memories, and that's the biggest thing really to think about, is building memories. So Wanda and I just wanted to share some of that with you. Now, we're not going to do it right this minute because we're actually driving down the road, but here in a little bit we're going to park, and I'm just going to do some videos, walk around the Trooper and show you some things that we've done and talk about how we got from a vehicle that wasn't super good condition to one that's actually in very good condition. So having said that, we're gonna go ahead and stop for right now, and I'll talk to you a little bit later when we get stopped, and we'll do a walk around the vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and do a review on the old Trooper, let you guys see what we have. As you can see, it's not a bad looking vehicle, pretty nice vehicle, and we have a good time with it. Let's go ahead and start at the back, and then we'll work our way around, talk to you a little bit about what we've done to it and share with you some of the financial things that we've done to it. One of the things I really like about this vehicle is I like the way those back doors open. Now, as you might can see up here, not very good, we've actually got a solar panel up here and a little tool carrying case. I built this rack out of some scrap iron that I had around the shop, and so I don't have much in it money wise, a little bit of paint, but I got some labor in it. Took me a few days to build it off and on in my spare time. Then we bought this DC, well, it's AC and DC refrigerator, and I won't drag it out or anything like that, but that really comes in handy when you're camping. You don't have to buy ice. And then we built this electrical system ourselves. Maybe you can see we've got a couple of batteries up in there, and of course all the components it takes to charge the batteries. There's a charging panel, and then you got 110 right there if you need to run any 110, and the refrigerator runs on 12 volt or 110, either one, but if you need 110 for any reason, you've got it right there. And I built these little drawers out of some lumber that I sawed with my own sawmill there at the house. And this is more of a fun project. I'm not sure that I'm going to leave them that way, but right now they work pretty good. They're fairly primitive, but you can keep a few things in them. We'll talk a little bit about the tires and wheels and things that are in that area. Of course, we took the wheels off and went ahead and sanded and painted them black. They were kind of a silver look, which wasn't bad, but I really wanted black wheels on it because of being just an overlander style vehicle. And we put a set of new tires on it. And remember, I told you that the brakes were bad on it when I got it. I went ahead and put all new calipers, rotors, new brakes on it, everything that it needed to get it up in shape. Now, I will say this, on the underside of it, we do have some work still left to do. It needs shocks on it right now. But another thing that we did, we pulled it in the shop and we just dropped all the oils out of the rear ends, transfer case, transmission, everything, engine, put all new oil and filters in it where it needed it. And you remember I said transmission was acting a little funny when I bought it. Well, wasn't anything wrong with the transmission, it just, the transmission had not been serviced and it was low, so we serviced all that and we've not had any trouble with it since then. So we got all that. I carry a little axe on the top there, and if we need it, we have it. Never have needed it, but we do have it. Now, I did a little bit of a show and tell on this shower system that we built, and just bought PVC pipe, built that ourselves. And this is really handy when you need to take a shower, but you can see where we have a place to air it up, and I keep a little compressor in the vehicle here to air that up with, and you get good water pressure when you do that. You can wash the dishes or whatever it is you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and pop the hood on it there, let you guys look at what's going on under there. The inside of it isn't too bad. Now, the seats that were in it when I got it were kind of ragged, and these are not just super good, but I bought these out of an old salvage trooper and put them in here, so they're a little bit better than what was in here. Trying to get this hood open with one hand. There it is. The really upside and good thing about this thing was the engine is really seemingly in really good shape. We have done a little work on it, put a new starter on it, new alternator. We do have a little bit of an oil leak in the valve covers, and I've already bought the gaskets, so all I gotta do is put them in. So we have that going on, and we need to put a thermostat in. The thermostat is open and won't close, so that's a little bit of a problem, but it doesn't overheat or anything. But I'd like to have the heater warm up a little faster in the winter time, so I'm going to put a thermostat in it. I already have the thermostat, did put a new battery on it. I had that bumper guard in the scrap pile. It was kind of bent up, but I went ahead and straightened it and put that guard on this to protect it and something to mount those lights on. So we've done all that. The snorkel, I added it on. That was somewhere just over $100 and a couple hours worth of work. Now those guys are not super hard to put on, but they are a little difficult. But it's stuff that the guy's got a little bit of mechanic abilities can do. Most all this stuff I've done myself. I'm not an expert mechanic, but I am mechanically inclined. And also had some extra iron around the house, and I built a trailer hitch for it. It's not super good, but it'll pull the little trailer that we use to haul some of our camping gear in. Now I do have that trailer that I built, and I haul that camp gear in it, but the upside of that trailer is I don't have to unload all that stuff. I just leave it loaded in that trailer, and when I get ready to go, I can just hook it up. I have another little deal here. As you can see, we just stick this right up here, and we can put a paper towel holder right there while we're camping. It works out really well. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much the story on the Trooper. It's a 1997 model. Got a 3.2 liter engine in it, and runs good, shifts good. Pretty much everything works on it. Now we are going to have to do a little work on the air conditioner. It leaks down. You can fill it back up and it works for a pretty good while, but it does eventually leak down. But we're going to go ahead and repair that somewhere down the line. So with that said, we're gonna call that the review. And just keep this in mind. You don't have to have brand new vehicles to do this kind of stuff, and there's people that can afford that, and I'm glad for them. But Wanda and I, we're retired, and we don't have a lot of money coming in, so we just kind of have to do what we got to do, you know, to enjoy life. But I got to tell you something, I'm not complaining. I don't know if I'd feel any better if you gave me a brand new Jeep or whatever. I don't worry about that stuff. I just like something that's dependable, and this guy's been very dependable. So encourage you guys to get you something, take your family out and build memories. Have a good time.